Please welcome a player emerging from one of the biggest matches of his life, making his maiden appearance in a Crucible semi-final after winning 4 matches at the qualifiers and 3 here on the big stage. The 2021 UK champion is back to his best, so please welcome the Cyclone, Zhao Xintong. And now to the greatest player in history, emerging for a record-extending 14th Crucible semi-final.
This is not going to be a slow match. As I said, average shot time for Ronnie, 16 seconds. Zhao Xintong, actually 20 seconds, which is slower than he has been. When he's in the balls, it's much quicker.
I was in the practice room last night and Ronnie came in. He's got a local man who does all his stuff for him, and he swapped it round. Titanium has gone and he's back to brass and a brand new tip. And I have to say, as soon as he started playing with that, it sounded absolutely lovely. And I think he was very satisfied himself. He was in there for at least a couple of hours. And, well, if it's on your mind, you can't play proper snooker. Hopefully now that's all behind him and away we go today.
Tentative pot, thinking the only red he could leave was the one he's playing. This is a new experience. I've not commentated on one frame of Zhao Xintong in this championship. I'm really looking forward to seeing him in the flesh, so to speak.
Yeah, it's bizarre how your schedules can work out sometimes, isn't it, when matches you're on and you're not. And yeah, that's an amazing stat that you haven't actually seen him have a frame yet.
No. And when he won the UK a few years ago, I didn't do that tournament. So, yeah, I mean, but obviously, the word is, this boy can play.
Oh, that's a very positive safety shot. Opened up the reds, no end. Usually the players are skinning off those with a bit of run inside, but not Zhao Xintong.
So Ronnie there playing that with a lot of right-hand side. And that's the type of shot that's been catching him out. And couldn't have struck that better.
Yeah, he said to me he thinks that the fella he had on previously was throwing the ball a little bit and he wasn't used to it. I mean, look, John, all I'll say is if you've won 7 World Championships and you're approaching 15 million in prize money and 23 majors and you've had brass on the end of your cue for all that time, I don't think I'd be changing it.
Yeah, not really close with that. So just needing a little time to settle this morning.
And it's certainly been a feature of Zhao Xintong's game at the Crucible this year. His long game has been exceptional. So he's had a couple of digs already this morning with the long game, not there, and that one from Ronnie. Not quite.
Obviously the easiest pot would be the one to the far right corner, but obviously you can't get through to that. This one needs good cueing. Yeah, nicely played. Obviously the pink goes. And if you're straight on the ping, you can play for the red just to the right of the black. That will clear the black spot area. And he is straight on the pink. So it's a decent opportunity, this.
A moment, please.
has a lovely demeanour around the table, this boy. He's always, when he's playing, he sort of floats around there. I'm very impressed. I've done quite a few of his matches, and yeah, he's certainly tuned up with all the games he's played this year's championship. 4 to qualify, 3 wins here already.
8.
But he's got a real nice manner about him, good tempo at the table.
Plays for the red to the right corner, just a bit short of pace, so this one to the right middle is second choice.
16.
Funny enough, the best Zhao Xintong's played in this year's championship was in the opening round. Played Jack Jones, who was last year's finalist, and well, absolutely barrage of breaks in that match. Poor old Jack didn't know what had hit him there.
21.
He was in scintillating form. So he needs to get back up to that scoring level, you would feel.
Well, that was a misjudgment, mainly because he overcut that red. And he's lost the cue ball. Looks like end of break.
Yellow ball. Zhao Xintong, 22.
I'll be disappointed with that. Once he'd cleared the black spot area. Good chance. A poor positional shot.
Yeah, and of the few tactical exchanges in this match yesterday was Ronnie O'Sullivan was holding the upper hand. Created quite a few opportunities from his opponent's safety. So it'll be something that Zhao Xintong will have to improve slightly.
Bit thin. That's why the extra pace was in the cue ball, in and out of balk. Left a red on.
Surprised at that. I'll say been a feature of his performance of this year's championship, how good his long game's been. But that one might be costly.
1.
Well, there's a loose red at the top of that cluster. But there's no one better at breaking balls open than Ronnie O'Sullivan. But he could play for the loose red at the top, or the one on the right-hand side of the table. Play for the loose red at the top. In such a way that in potting it, he could bring a few more reds into play.
9.
Overscrewed it. I think he thought he was going to kiss a second red. Didn't. And now it's questionable whether he'll take this black on.
Great pot. Great pot. Be absolutely desperate for this top red to go, and it looks like it does. He can actually play on the pink here if he wanted after this. Pot the pink and bring the reds into play. This is working out really nice. It's all about this split.
Didn't judge the reaction of the cue ball. Tight under the cushion.
22.
Next pot
Sorry, 23.
isn't easy.
Ronnie Sullivan, 23.
Always missable those. As I say, tight under the cushion. I'm not really certain if you were going to be on a colour. So both players have had good chances and not made the most of it.
One.
Yeah, might as well just pop the yellow here. Red and then the blue. Simple enough. And this is, well, you'd have to say an excellent chance to take the opening frame this morning. Balls have been put into play by Ronnie's shot on the pink. His opponents will be extremely disappointed if he doesn't win from here.
Nine. Ten.
The only awkward reds appear to be those two together. But now, 16 points to lead.
17.
He's going to need one of those reds to clinch the frame at this visit.
18.
I think one of them may be available into the middle pocket. Wouldn't want to risk playing a cannon. It could go wrong, so play for the loose reds. The reds in the open.
25. 26.
John, isn't he?
Yeah, and I can see why people liken him to Jimmy White. He just falls into the shot lovely, and he got that nice pace, as you said earlier, around the table. And of course, left-handed, so there you go. Now, such is the angle, I think he'll have to play the cannon if neither of them will pot to the corner, so just needs this to go right. And it has.
Yeah, nice effort this to start the second session. As I say, the balls are in a pretty nice position, but you've still got to go and knock them in. And do wonders for his confidence. And what you would say, if you're being harsh, if he hadn't got them, you wouldn't fancy him winning this match, because you won't be getting bucket loads of chances with Ronnie. When they come, you've got to make the most of them.
50.
And he's done it very well here.
Yeah, and it just sums up snooker.
55.
All the talk this morning was Ronnie O'Sullivan and changing the tip.
57.
How is the tip? We don't know. He's had a long shot which he missed, but when he got in amongst the balls, he just misjudged how the cue ball was going to come off the other reds. Doesn't matter about the green. Ronnie will stay in his seat. But just to start the Zhao Xintong would have wanted a nerve settler, and he needs Ronnie O'Sullivan. 5-4.
I give frame 10. Zhao Xintong to break.
Decent break off. There's a possible thin cut on the end red on the right hand side, but I'll only be more concerned trying to get this cue ball back to the balk end. Well, he did look at the thin cut. I mean, hit it too thin. He's left it. He'll be disappointed with that. Nice easy starter for Zhao, and after winning the first frame, as I say, he's got his cue arm going now.
Thank you. 1.
Yeah, took the opportunity. So much of the pack. Pretty good effort. The cue ball arced, he just caught the outside. And he's looking at potential plant. 3 ball. Top right hand pocket. We've seen a couple of them this week. Luca Brissell found a couple. Well, you're all in with this shot, John, aren't you?
Yeah, and I know the red looks dead set for this pocket, but because those 2 reds are touching, the one just above it, which is going to hit full ball into them, you could squeeze this and miss it. So I don't think he's taking the risk. It'd be too risky.
Zhao Xintong, 8.
Yeah, I think that was the right thing to do. And make sure that you move the plant. Had a good shot there. Couldn't leave it just in case Ronnie thought it was a certainty. So he split the plant up.
He's mishit that dreadfully.
Yeah, he's all at sea at the minute. That's 2 safety shots. One miles too thin, one's mile too thick. He'll be getting a bit worried about those last 2 strikes on the safety shots. Lovely shot. Beautifully played. Sounds bizarre to say it, but Zhao Xintong's got to hold himself together when he sees his opponent, who he's expecting to come out and fly, missing a few balls and playing a few poor safeties. You've got to just hold yourself together and do your stuff.
9.
Yeah, it's the old adage, isn't it? Play the ball, not the man. He's just got a lovely calmness when he's down. Nothing seems to be rushed. When you see players sometimes miss easy balls, you think, oh, they put a quick one in, they pull the cue back, and
16.
then they back to hit the cue ball. But there's no sign of that with Zhao. I mean, this is lovely the way he strokes the ball.
17.
Yeah, we've got some wonderful Chinese players on the circuit. There's 10, in fact, at this year's championship.
24.
But I think of all the cueists here, and obviously we know Ding Junhui's a brilliant break builder and scorer, but I think as a cueist, this is probably the best of the Chinese players.
25.
Lets the cue do the work. A nice bridge hand length. You can see it. It's only a short shot there, but to an advantage that when he's got long pots, can let that cue come back and do the work, and it's effortless.
32.
It's refreshing to see in a day and age where everyone's getting shorter and closer to the cue ball.
Could play a little cannon on those 2 reds together just to hold the cue ball in this area. Played it nicely.
40.
Well, as I said, I'm not commentating on a match live, but you can't be but impressed. Biggest stage of all. Playing Ronnie O'Sullivan.
41.
And looks completely at home.
Yeah, and Ronnie himself admitted that, you know, in some of the matches he hasn't been pushed. Nobody's really put it up to him. Ali Carter missed more balls probably that I've seen him miss off the spot in a long time. He didn't quite do his stuff. Pang Junju certainly didn't.
48.
And it was only near the end that Si Jiahui gave him a bit of a fright and he started playing better. But it looks like
49.
this lad's not going to be intimidated. He's going to turn up and do his stuff. He's definitely going to make Ronnie play. This is lovely.
Red colour.
56.
Red. To take the second frame of the morning.
57. $64.
So this red to go 73 points in front with just 67 remaining. It's funny. Hello, he's got a bit awkward here. He just picked the spider up and knocked it in. No problem.
Yeah, I was with you thinking, fancy leaving the cue ball there with 5 reds in the open, but didn't make the slightest bit of difference. As I say, I mentioned it before, it's lovely to watch. It really is very easy on the eye the way he plays. It's that
73.
simple looking, John. You think, well, I could do that myself. And we all know it's harder than that.
And nice to see from his point of view, the ball's going right in the heart of the
80.
pocket. So he'll be
81.
getting more and more confident. Of course, Ronnie played 2 very poor safety shots. So he'll be sat in his seat thinking, well, this was bound to happen. So he needs to pick his game up and not give these gilt-edged chances to his opponent. But Ronnie's aware of the boy's talent.
89.
Yep, got no loose shots this morning. Had to sit in his chair for a while. Drop this in. And it's there. And this
97.
for a century break that's been, well, beautiful from start to finish. Well played.
105.
Well, he led 2-0 in this match. He got pegged back to 2-2 at the interval. Well, he's going to be hoping for something the same. The difference being, I think Zhao Xintong's in stroke, even though he snookered himself behind the pink.
112.
If he pots one from here, Johnny's a genius. It's not to be, but what a beautiful break that was. Wonderful construction from Zhao Xintong. And he's really settled down this morning. He goes into a 2-frame lead. It's 6-4.
Thank you, frame 11. Ronnie O'Sullivan to pick.
Didn't find the baulk cushion.
Thank you.
So quite an easy safety shot now for Zhao Xintong. Well, I say that. Looks like the green has covered the edge of the main cluster. Shouldn't be a problem. 1 cushion. Only danger sometimes you can slide past these reds, but that looks okay.
Yeah, I was having a little chat with Judd before he went out last night in the practice room, and he was just saying how difficult it's become to break off, because with the brand new cloth being on and the cushion sliding, he couldn't get enough side on the ball to get right round and get him behind yellow or green. So he was having a few practice breaks to try and do the best he could.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen it so many times in this championship. Someone breaks off, leaves a pot on, opponent knocks it in, and that's the last shot you get.
Yeah. Sorry, John. Mark Williams went back to the old ugly rolling into the back of the pack the other day, playing against Wu Yiza because he just got fed up leaving a red on. So.
Yeah. It's not against the rules. Just not getting a good length here at the moment, Ronnie. When you leave your opponent away from the cushion as he's done, there's no real pressure on his shot.
Tap on the table from Ronnie. I think he can just sneak past the yellow to clip a red near the pink. Now, there's one at the blue again.
Yeah, it was a difficult shot though. He was having to swerve to get to the edge of the reds and swerving with right hand side. Just swung the cue ball off the second cushion, caught the blue, but as we've seen so far this morning, that's a dangerous thing. He's left a pot on for Zhao Xintong to the right corner. If he can get position, it's a decent chance.
I don't think he'll play the... No, he's stretching, so he wouldn't play it. If you're playing an exhibition shot, you'd be potting the red in the right and trying to cannon the black towards the left corner pocket there, but it's a stretch.
Playing this one. Thought it was curing more comfortably. Now, the question is, does this black go? I doubt it. I don't think the black goes. He's not going to be on a colour. No, definitely not. He wanted to play the red to the right corner as we look, but because it was hampered cueing, he played that one. But of course, that one, there wasn't a clear line for the cue ball for position. He was hoping to be on the pink.
Rainbow.
Yeah, Brown's the ball here. Just try and get it over somewhere. The green side. Yep, that's about as good as you can put it. So he's in the driving seat at the minute, not just with the score line.
Yeah, Ronnie got a problem here. No path back to balk. So he's looking for a place near this top cushion which won't leave a pot on. Not straightforward by any means. And the way the balls are, and after what happened in the last frame, Ronnie knows what could happen.
Yeah,
he's left the red on.
He's in a pickle here, John. Definitely. I mean, the right-hand side of the table, we're looking right down here. He can't even play off the side cushion and drop onto the two reds because the bottom right one on the side is stopping that path. Can't push up and down because he could get a double kiss. I don't blame him taking his time. He's in a lot of trouble here. He'll do well to get out of this and not leave something.
Yeah, and the problem is that red stops the black pot in the left corner. That is available. You've got to be wary of that. Only shot I could see is the red closest to the right-hand side cushion. Come off the cushion, try to catch that half ball and let the cue ball drift to the top cushion. It was spotted it, but whichever, it's risky. So what's he decided on? Two cushion escape with pace. Well, it was a good hit. Caught it a little bit fuller than he needed to. Big trouble, that was. Just needed to catch this red a bit thinner.
How's that for a bit of cueing? I think his long potting has been as good as anyone in this year's tournament. Every time I've done his matches, it's been right on point. He'd love to have been on the blue to get that back on the spot, but green's an ideal ball to get back down the table. John's mentioned it already, but that red that's stuck next to the black is one he'd like to get rid of sooner rather than later.
not the best positional shot. Okay, he's on this red to the right corner. We know the black doesn't go. I don't know whether he can hold for the pink to the left middle. So work to do with the cue ball. Oh, well, he could hold for the pink to the left middle and using the rest. How well did he play that? Made light of it, but had to be cued well. Now, can he get on this red just above the black?
I think he can play this. One thing you don't want to do is get a thick cannon on the black here. Perfect.
Oh.
Beautifully played. Yeah, much has been made about Ronnie not being tested in this year's championship. Well, the way this is going, he is now.
19.
This young player is definitely putting it up to him at the moment.
A
little bit harder, that wouldn't have dropped.
$27. 28.
Got a choice of shots here, but little cannon into the gap in the cluster. Screw there, you can't fail to be on a red. Right in there. And bring more reds into play.
45.
So, lovely shot.
Yeah, and this is the third frame of this second session this morning, and it looks like it's going to go the way of Zhao Xintong. And as from Ronnie's point of view, you know, we talked about the new fail and everything else. Well, we don't know because he's been a spectator for most of the morning.
44.
Not really got in with his hand on the table, maybe half a chance in the second frame, but it's all about this young man, and boy, does he look good. As I say, just cueing with so much confidence and so much calmness when he's on the shot.
51.
Yeah, maintaining that level of concentration, keeping his foot on the pedal. You'd have
52.
to say, since Ronnie split the pack up with the pink and landed on the side cushion, he's not really been on the table with a decent chance. It's because his opponent's playing so well. This is how he played in the first round, and it was pretty devastating
59.
then.
60.
As we always say with snooker, I mean, Ronnie needs to play a couple of good safety shots, get in. Apart from one good chance I can remember, it's all about his opponent, and when your opponent's at the table,
67.
doesn't matter how good you are, no right reply, you can only watch.
68. $74. 75.
Yeah, and all made by this lovely mid-range pot right into the middle of the pocket. With a great piece of cueing. You can't play much better than this, you really can't. It's special stuff.
82. Zhao Xintong, 82.
Well, the red doesn't go in, but the frame was well over before that. Another frame gone by as Ronnie O'Sullivan nods the concession. Started all square. Zhao Xintong now 3 ahead, 7-4.
Thank you, frame 12. Zhao Xintong to break.
Yes, Rishi, and for the first time in this year's championship, Ronnie O'Sullivan has got a test. a serious one at the minute. Big pot this. Now, that must spell danger. Be lucky to get away with that. And he's lucky. Goodness me, you cannot write it, can you, John?
No. Someone once wrote a book about snooker, called it The Cruel Game. And that's what Ronnie will be thinking at the moment. There's nothing you can do about it, it's just to run the balls, but he was looking for a chance early on and unlucky not to have one. Where's the red ball going?
Did he do a second version, the not so cruel game?
Yeah, that was the remake. Unbelievable, isn't it? And this blue does pot. Well, would you believe it? I mean, how it stopped there, I don't know.
Yeah, and I think where the cue ball's finished is absolutely perfect. If Zhao Xintong can reach just to flick the red away, that's near the black spot. So if this goes right, bizarrely, another big chance.
One.
Yeah, when Zhao Xintong missed the pot, I thought how lucky he was, but then Ronnie had the fluke.
9.
And missing the blue as he's done, Ronnie. And it was a decent chance the way the reds were spread. The blue wasn't too difficult. But once again, just gifted a nice opportunity. And the way he's queuing, you've got to fancy him to score heavily. So Ronnie in a real spot of bother here in the early stages of this second session.
17.
Just looking at those average shot times, Ronnie at 23 seconds, that because when he's come to the table, he's not been able to get any fluency. He's been thinking about how to get it safe most of the time.
25.
And if you were playing this lad, John, I mean, because he looks so comfortable at the table, you wouldn't fancy missing an easy one, would you?
No, he's giving you what you've got to do against Ronnie O'Sullivan. Stand up to him and show that you can play. Unfortunately, in this year's
32.
championship, certainly 3 of the players haven't done their own stuff. They're certainly better than they've shown.
33.
But this fella's not following the script. He's doing what he can do, and he's doing it right at the peak of his game at the moment. Not missing anything daft either, John, is he? His concentration's very good.
40.
Yeah, as I say, that first frame this morning would have settled him down, and he's, well, as I say, he's been impeccable since.
41.
Okay, he's missed a couple of long reds, but who doesn't? But Ronnie has not been able to keep him off the table. That's the bottom line.
$48. 49.
55 points to lead. Just under hit that.
56.
If it had been straighter on, could he roll through for the black? I know he's got the blue over the corner pocket, but he doesn't want to be going up there and have the cue ball travelling, so just a slight problem here.
$57.
As I say, he doesn't really want to play the blue. When the ball's in the jaws of the pocket, like it is, it's always difficult to judge how the cue ball comes out. So he's choosing yellow. I presume he can get to the red when the yellow's respotted. Well, he's missed the yellow. And it just shows you just that loose positional shot. And now here's a chance for Ronnie. And he knows now as he comes to the table the importance of this. He's got to have a good reply to what Zhao Xintong has put up to him.
1.
Big visit.
$7.
Interesting. He had an angle there just to pot this, and if he wanted to flick the yellow out, he could, because he needed clearance, but just probably wants to pot a few balls first, back into it. Didn't have to do it there, but of course yellow to green with the blue over the corner isn't going to be easy. It's the first real opportunity he's had to get his hand on the table since the opening frame.
14.
What response has he got?
15.
These two reds just below the black. They're accessible, but got to be very precise. Didn't want to risk playing on one of them that Ronnie's always. No.
Ronnie Sullivan, 22.
That was a dreadful shot off the black. The over screwed it by a good foot and a half, so that will not fill him with much confidence. It was a chance, best chance of the morning. And it's doubtful whether he's going to get another one in this frame.
Yeah, he's had a couple of safety shots this morning, haven't been great, but that particular visit was a bit more worrying. To be so far out, coming off the black. Although that's a very disappointing shot.
6.
So it's not over yet, this frame.
Zhao Xintong, 6.
Yeah, 40 points to lead, but still 43 remaining.
Foul.
Oh, well.
Zhao Xintong, 4.
Now needs a snooker. I mean, the one thing you've got to do, you've got to hit the red. Disappointing morning so far.
Yeah, free ball 2.
Rainbow.
Taking the brown as the red, and it goes. No, all going the way of Zhao Xintong. It was an excellent safety he played, in truth. But worrying times for the O'Sullivan camp. No departments far in order at the moment.
6.
I don't think Ronnie will be coming back to the table. But if he goes, this goes in, he definitely won't be. And he's got it, make the plant. Yeah, well done. And as I say, Brown in a knot. Ronnie will be leaving for the arena, for the dressing room. A lot to think about. Zhao Xintong, 4 frames played. He's won all of them. Now 8-4 in front. Yeah, thank you, Rishi, and I couldn't agree more. 4 massive frames for Ronnie O'Sullivan. I'm not saying that Zhao Xintong is pulling away from Ronnie, but I just feel that Ronnie needs to show something to him, just to put a little bit of doubt in his mind. At the moment, there's none.
Yep, he is a long putter extraordinaire. You can't believe in those. He's been eating them up through the championship. And for Zhao Xintong, mentioned it in the last frame, keep your foot on the pedal. You can do a lot of damage in this match if you keep that standard up you produced in the first 4 today.
Six.
I think he's on this red just above the black. Can't avoid kissing the black, but he's got such a lovely touch in the balls that, well, I think he's deciding to play that red. So obviously the black goes, and by the look of the way he's going about it, so does the pink.
A moment, please.
Real Scully, the referee, just asking for a minute just to get this pink. No spots available. Just to remind it, it goes as close to its own spot as it can in a direct line with the middle of the top cushion.
Thank you. 13.
As I say, it looks like the black goes. Maybe it doesn't.
$14.
Yeah, funny enough, the red that's to the left is probably the problem ball, because you'd love to play down in that area to get on the red above the black, but you could easily snooker yourself on that red that's on the left. So I think he thought about that earlier in the break. The one that's above the black is the one to get rid of. That completely opened the area, but it's not that easy where it is just to drop on that.
You're going to have to play a good shot here to get position on the colour. Don't think you can avoid a kiss on the second red. And there you go. And didn't hold back. It's not great, though. He's got a shot at the blue, but badly hampered.
Boy, is he unlucky there. What a strike that is. He's purposely left that shot to bring the reds into play. If he lands on the blue there, the way he's gone this morning, it would be game over.
Green ball.
So, is he taking the green on? Yep, he sure is. He is definitely fancying the job here.
23.
Once again, no hesitation. And cued it smooth. No stress in that shot.
24. $29. 30.
Yeah, don't blame him. It takes a little bit of thinking about this. I say that area there to the left of the black with those reds slightly congested. Now, has he landed on that red above the black? If he has, then that's
45.
absolutely perfect. Yep, beautiful piece of cue ball that was.
36.
And that red that's near the cue ball is no longer a problem, because he played it so well. I tell you what, John, you'd have got a very big price. Ronnie O'Sullivan doesn't win a frame in the session.
43.
Well, he's going at the moment. He's on the first 4. Zhao Xintong. This looks like being 5.
44.
And as we're looking at it presently, there's only one person potting all the balls.
Yeah, but I always say, you know, that is snooker. But you've still got to be at the table potting the balls, and so far this has been immaculate from Zhao Xintong.
51.
Hardly seen anything of Ronnie. Just stopped in his tracks, so positional plate was made a little
52.
bit awkward because he didn't get a good angle on that red. So under normal circumstances you say this black is tricky, but he's making everything look simple at the moment. And doesn't seem to break stride, does he?
No, it's lovely. As I say,
59.
there's a float around the place. It's just very easy to watch.
$60.
A colour and one more red to get to Snooker's required, and he played a lovely positional shot on the pink. The next red isn't obvious, so he needs to have a good touch here.
Why, when you play that shot, does it nearly always finish in the middle? So they're quite in the corner
66.
or facing the middle, although I do fancy he could roll this one being left-handed. Just roll this one down the cush.
He will need a cover after this red. That red puts him 67 points in front. Well, my mistake.
67.
The red was enough. So Ronnie O'Sullivan stays in his seat. We've not seen much of Ronnie, but what we've seen of Zhao Xintong is very impressive. 9-4.
Frame 14. Zhao Xintong to break.
Yep, definitely in the ascendancy as the young player. And I just feel, John, as if Ronnie's got to try and take 2 out of the last 3 here. Anything else is no good at all.
No, absolutely. And I don't think this young man will be looking over his shoulder once he gets a big lead. I mean, we've seen players in the battle. That's a nice little kiss off the brown. And at the moment, Ronnie could do with a little good run of the ball. Now, sometimes when we talk about the greats, you know, like a Ray Reardon, he'd be looking at this lad now potting all the balls, and he'd be thinking, right, I'll mess the frames up. Just keep it very tight, but that's not in Ronnie's makeup. And that's another poor safety. When you consider he was trying to get to the baulk cushion. Another test of a straight pot. You just know they're going to go in, don't you?
Can't leave those, I'm afraid. Q action's too good. Look at the strike. Absolutely right into the leather.
$8. $9.
Just looking at Ronnie there in his seat. It's the loneliest place in the world. You've got nothing to show for your efforts this morning, and all you're doing is watching your opponent pot balls.
Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. You will not say that shot played better anywhere.
16.
And the work on the cue ball. Watch this as it goes in. Double spins again. And these could not
17.
be nicer. Yep, I'm afraid he's inflicted this on many people in his career. He's now got to sit in the chair and watch someone else doing it to him at the moment. And this has been hugely impressive.
$24. $25. 32. $33.
I was just going to say, well,
40.
it's a fact, 5 reds, 5 blacks. But he won't be playing for the black this time.
That's actually the first time he's just slightly lost the cue ball there. And all of the
41.
stuff he's been doing today. Had a little wry smile on his face. He didn't plan to play there, but still worked out perfectly well.
$46. 47.
Yeah, just getting to the stage of the frame now where 3 more colours on top of the 3 more reds will put Ronnie in big trouble in this frame again. So just keep that focus.
54.
Just 1 or 2 shots in the last part of this visit where the cue ball's not quite been as good as it has been so far. Still should pot one, of course, but it's making it slightly trickier.
55.
Couldn't get going on the blue. He's got to miss the green here. Not on the red he played, but getting down quick.
61.
No way back, you wouldn't have thought, to the table now for Ronnie.
Yeah, 1 or 2 little shots went slightly awry, and he's recovered in no uncertain terms.
68.
And I don't care who you are, there's
69.
absolutely nothing you can do when your opponent is playing this well. All you can do is sit and admire, because this is top draw.
Justice Black. We'll get him to Snooker. It's documented that Ronnie's a hero to all the young players from China.
77.
There's no sign of him getting a bit tense and the enormity of what he's achieving this morning.
No, and we've mentioned it earlier and through the tournament. He's turned up and he's done his stuff, which is what you've got to do when you come out into this auditorium and play one of the all-time greats. You've got to look like you're going to win, even if you're feeling nervous inside.
Yeah, in his last match against Chris Wakelin, although he won comfortably, he did make quite a few mistakes, and people were questioning the facts. What, having played the 4 qualifiers matches and then the 3 he's played here, was he running out of steam? Well, here's your answer. There's plenty left in the tank. Look up to the heavens. It's disappointing. He wanted to be the right side of the blue. But no problem with the pink. He's made 112 break this morning. We're looking to better that here.
96.
So just this black for yet another century. And once again, a brilliant frame of snooker from Zhao Xintong. Packed auditorium, appreciating that particular visit. And why not?
104.
6 frames this morning. And this is going to be 6-0 to this Potter machine. Be a test from brown to blue. Not that he's
110.
that's all bothered by that.
112.
The way he's going, John, I wouldn't put it past him.
No, you put nothing past him. Oh, just got the double kiss. Just wanted to hit it a bit thinner. Wouldn't surprise me if this went in.
Zhao Xintong.
Anyway, another beautifully constructed break from Zhao Xintong. Ronnie O'Sullivan now, the hole is getting deeper. 10-4.
Thank you, frame 15. Ronnie O'Sullivan to break.
Yeah, wise words from Ken, but I think he's definitely got to somehow scrap something out of it. 10-6, even as well as the opponent's playing. Still a long way from the finishing line, but 12-4. That'd be nasty.
Yeah, just to remind him, first to 17. Now here's a half chance for Ronnie. Needs to, well, start knocking balls in.
One.
Good solid pot, right in the heart of the pocket. A little bit closer to the cushion than he would have liked. Doesn't like the blue. Playing the green, a little bit more difficult pot. This cue ball needs to run.
4. 5.
Just can't get the pace of the table. Play for the blue. Of course, that's the other thing when your opponent is having all the table time. That wasn't too
7.
bad a kiss on the pink. Takes a few shots just to get the pace of the table, get your cue arm going.
8.
Now he's got to play for the red now, just above the black. He has a cannon, but I don't see the value of the cannon. Not while the black is sort of tied up. Now he can think about moving them. Once he
13.
pots this red.
14.
Well, the groan tells you.
21.
Although the way Ronnie's eyeing up, maybe he can just get through to this red, to the middle. He called them, so he's going to keep the break going.
Yeah, he knows it. He knows the importance of this frame, and indeed the last one. But can you believe that?
Ronnie O'Sullivan 22.
Just when he looked like he was getting going, he misses the yellow off the spot.
And the one thing you can't do at this game is miss easy balls. They're the most costly, because you know when he's missed that yellow, he's going to be on the next red. But not for you, for your opponent.
Eight. 9.
Well, all about the split here. He's got plenty of power. Took the end red out. Played that nicely. Just punched a little
16.
cannon. Opened 3 reds in play.
Yeah,
7.
we talk about his potting, his long potting. But his shot selection when he's in and around the black spot area is, well, top draw.
Yeah, what I like about him, John, in the games I've done is he goes in at the correct time. If there's a spare red on the bottom, he goes in beforehand, knowing full well he's got that as an
24.
insurance policy. Sometimes it just presents itself in a break.
25.
You can go into the pack and he does it. So he gets the balls out into the open and makes the job easier.
Now 10 points to lead. Oh, well, there's a surprise.
32.
He is human.
Thank you.
Unfortunately, Ronnie not able to punish him. And he'll be getting more and more frustrated now.
Yeah, got a couple of reds he could possibly play to the middle. That's the one nearest the blue. In it goes.
1.
Yeah, what I was just about to say before he missed that easy red on his last visit, he won't need the red near the right-hand side cushion. These balls in the middle of the table will be enough to get him past the winning line.
Seven.
Might be able to play through and flick one of the other reds out here.
14.
Depends on his angle. Well, maybe not. So it's just a... Well, I presume he's going to need a
15.
cannon, unless the top red by the pink pot, but maybe not. So, little cannon, John, you think?
Yeah, and I think this is the only hope for Ronnie. Although he's had a look round, maybe that red just below the pink is available into the same pocket as this black. He thinks it is. So that makes the task a little easier.
Yeah, and now that one will flick the other red out.
22.
So this black, that red, and another colour. We'll see him take yet another frame. That'll be 7 this morning,
30.
and the prospect of giving the 7 times world champion a whitewash in the morning session.
31.
Remarkable.
Nothing he can do. Well, I know it's a strange thing to say, but he'll be just watching and admiring.
37.
Who couldn't?
Zhao Xintong, 37. And the front.
Ronnie will stay in his seat. 7 frames played. 7 frames to Zhao Xintong. 11-4.
Thank you. The final frame of this session. Zhao Xintong to break.
So it's certainly been quick fire snooker this morning. That to me has been Ronnie's weakness. He may have got the yellow to help him on this occasion, but he's never found the baulk cushion with the regularity you need for such a good potter as Zhao.
Yeah, he did yesterday. As I say, in the safety exchanges yesterday, when they happened, Ronnie was definitely in the, well, ascendancy in that department. But, well, today this young man's been brilliant. And it's very difficult. Oh, that's so unlucky.
Right,
It's very difficult to play safe anywhere when you can pop like that.
Well, Ronnie getting lots of encouragement. Mainly they want to see a match. That puts more pressure on him.
1.
Needs to stop short of the port line, which it does comfortably. Just got to score, just to show his supporters that he's still got something left. He's played this nicely. He'll have to play for the black here. If he's going to make a sizable break, he's got to play for the tricky black.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 5.
It's not there. Happens to the best.
Yeah. Game not there. Cue action not there. Somehow, by hook or by crook, whether it's 20 breaks or 30 breaks, just got to win this frame and try and find something on the practice table if you can. Just can't afford to lose this frame, you'd think.
Element of safety in playing that shot. Didn't think he'd leave anything easy for Ronnie.
Yeah, slightly trickier here to get the cue ball back into the baulk area. Looks like another long pot. Maybe one long pot too far there, John. It's a toughie.
Yeah, but he probably thought, well, it's just as hard as playing safe, so another chance for Ronnie. Not the best one, this, of course, with the pink and black tied up. But we've seen him make some amazing breaks over the years, as he got it in him this morning.
6. 7.
That's the question. He's got to really dig in here. Focus. One shot at a time. And if he was to win this frame, he'll have shown great character. Because it's easy to just, you know, when your opponent's running away, he's missing easy balls. It's easy to let your head drop.
Yeah, he's really scrapping for the cue ball at the minute. He's shaking his head after nearly every shot. He's not pinpoint accurate like he usually is, but that'll help. A good break, good split. Yes, the man, the scoreline won't be particularly appetising to him. 6
19.
frames behind will be a lot better than 8. So huge frame.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 19.
Well, I can only assume he didn't hit the middle of the white there and put a little bit of unintentional side on it. Maybe that's why he's missed a few easy shots before, but situation he's in, can't afford to do that. Well, he's found a lovely line there for the cue ball to finish on the pink. But of course, when you've had all this table time, you're feeling confident, you just believe things are going to go well.
Yeah, Yeah, that was the right choice of shot there. Pink was a little tricky, could have been missed, whereas the blue, not so much.
6.
He hasn't shown
7.
much signs of getting excited today. If he can hold himself together here, what an opportunity this is to win all 8 frames this morning.
Well, a little bit careless.
12.
I wouldn't say careless, John. I think that's the worst shot he's played this morning. To even leave the cue ball there is, well, this is horrible from here, where he was. Brilliant recovery.
Cue ball. He's okay, caught the knuckle, left himself the perfect angle on the blue. I wasn't sure he could get through to that red.
Yeah, me neither, but what a recovery.
18.
Playing on the pink
19.
here. Doesn't have to play any cannons into the reds, but he's got a natural angle to do so.
He'll need a good shot to keep this going.
26.
Making everything look so easy. Boy, he must be feeling good.
Yeah, that's not great. I think the black, well, he was trying to play in behind that red. Have to be a change of plan.
42.
I don't know whether that red passes the black. He was playing for it in the middle pocket, I think. So, bottom red instead.
$33.
Yeah, once again, he's developed his table brilliantly, hasn't he? Didn't look like a potential clearance table when he came to it. Cannon off the pink into the reds and black. Open the game up.
39.
I have to say the red into the corner when he looked like he'd lost the cue ball off
40.
the blue was a great recovery shot.
But Ronnie missing that blue off the spot presented this chance, and we know the form the young man's in. And as I say, just put in a bit of unintentional side. I mean, that blue, to all intents and purposes, looked unmissable. So it
47.
looks now as though it's odds on that he's not going to get a frame out of these 8 that have been played this morning.
48.
Just one good positional shot needed to get position on the last red. A colour, that last red and one more colour, and it was Snooker's required. And he's played this beautifully. One-way traffic, John.
You can't hit it any better than that. I mean, honestly, if you picked it up and walked round and put it there with your hand, you'd be delighted. Brilliant. This has been absolutely brilliant this morning. And we're used to giving the plaudits to the man sitting in the other chair. But Zhao Xintong this morning has been absolutely fabulous. Yes, he's had a bit of help, and he's not really been at the races. But this fella, boys, he played well this morning. And kept the pressure on.
60.
Yeah, scintillating snooker. Well, I said I hadn't seen him play sort of in the flesh, so to speak. What a player. What a future he's got in the game. And to do this to Ronnie O'Sullivan, well, it's a phenomenal performance. Changing of the guard, maybe, right here, right now.
Yeah, I'm just wondering how many people turned up today at the Crucible thinking this was a procession for Ronnie. And there's your answer to that. There's some talent in this sport.
69.
And this is very much an emerging one. He's been wonderful this morning and great to watch.
74. 80.
Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. And Ronnie will be impressed with that performance, but not with his own. But Zhao Xintong, take a bow. Superb. 8 frames played. He won them all. 12-4. One of the greatest comebacks ever.
Frame 17.
It's great to be joined in the commentary box by the 7 times champion of the world, Stephen Hendry. Well, he's just got to play no miss snooker, Stephen. Simple as that.
Yeah, I mean, let's face it, if Ronnie plays anywhere near his best, he can win 8 frames tonight. We all know that. But another thing we always say when the player's well behind, you've got to play no miss snooker, as you say, John, but you need a bit of help from your opponent as well. You think to get back into this match, he's going to need a massive dip in form from Zhao Xintong.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's all you can base it on the second session this morning. It was all about Zhao Xintong, and he didn't look to me like he was getting a bit edgy with the winning line looming. Kept a nice pace around the table. It was a superb session of snooker, but as you say, Stephen, if he has a dip in form and Ronnie raises his, then there's chances, but on what I've seen so far, it seems unlikely, but you never know.
Yeah, listen, if Ronnie was to come and win the first 2 frames tonight, you know, doubts can creep in, there's no doubt about it. The most impressive thing, I think, about Zhao Xintong is he's just misses very, very few pots that he's supposed to get. When he gets in, it's basically a frame over.
Well, that red that was running loose looks to have run safe. The big criticism I had of Ronnie this morning, he wasn't finding the baulk cushion with any of his safety. And that just makes life so much easier for your opponent if he can get his hand on the table. If he's tight under the baulk cushion, nothing's easy. He's got to get that safety play right tonight if he's going to force mistakes from a young man in the form of his life.
Foul and a miss. Ronnie O'Sullivan, 4.
No reason not to have it replaced, but it's got to be exact, this replacement, because it was only a thin edge of this red sticking out.
Is he going to bring this over? Okay. Yeah, all right, thanks. Foul and a miss. Ronnie O'Sullivan, 4.
Well, another miss, but
Yeah.
replaced. There'd be no warning, because he can't actually get to see any red full.
Yeah.
You can only see the thinnest of edges.
I think don't have to warn you if you don't hit the ball on.
No.
Thanks.
Surely not. Oh, I'm sorry, yes, there are reds on the left-hand side. My mistake. So that's why he has been warned. He's got to hit a red this time. as you can clearly see, can hit this red full in the face. The reason he didn't play it, because he didn't think he could get safe from this situation. He's made a pretty good fist of it. Good length. This red going towards the corner. Now there's a red on to this left corner, as you can see. Not certain whether he can play for the black, but this is the first test, if you like, of the new tip. Can he knock this right in the heart of the pocket? Be a confidence booster if he can. In the end, just misjudged the line of the cue ball. Pick your colour.
Rainbow, thank you.
Nominated brown.
Foul, no miss. Ronnie Sullivan 1, Zhao Xintong 4. Back.
He'll nominate brown again because he's got the gap through those reds. The one thing he doesn't want to do, or reluctant, hitting the brown, hitting it full in the face. If he does that, the cue ball will stay on the baulk line, and he'll leave a potential pot.
Rainbow, thank you.
He just wants to hit it half ball. Like that. Just like that.
But that pot, even though nothing came of it, and that will give Ronnie a bit of confidence, because it was beautifully struck and right in the middle of the pocket. It's always nice when that's your, whoever you are, your first longish pot that you hit perfectly.
Foul. Ronnie Sullivan 4.
A little bit of an edgy start to this frame from Zhao Xintong. He hasn't hit a shot properly yet.
No, so another chance for Ronnie. Obviously he'll play the red closest to the, well, second closest to the corner pocket. Can he find a path for the cue ball this time?
1.
He's got the green. Down quick, he must be happy with the potting angle.
Again, beautifully struck. And Ronnie will know,
4.
as well as anyone, that these multi-session matches is all about momentum and creating momentum of your own.
5.
And he knows, if, as I said before, if you can win the first 2-3 frames, get that momentum, puts all the pressure in the world on Zhao Xintong.
Yeah, it's just about picking the right ball here.
$11.
He avoided one of the reds, but not the other. But with the brown not being on its spot, it's a bit easier to pot the blue and come in and out of baulk.
$16.
Underhit it slightly.
20.
Fabulous shot with his left hand. But he is still battling that cue ball, which, to be honest, he has done the whole championship. It's not been Ronnie O'Sullivan-esque, if you like. Oh, where's this pink? It's okay, he's got a red to left middle. Oh, it's okay, it's going in the brown spot anyway, the pink. But as I say, it's not the perfect break so far.
27. $29.
I'd never ever question Ronnie O'Sullivan's shot selection, but this red closest to the left corner, if he can get rid of that, he'll make the black available, and it could well turn into a frame-winning chance. Doesn't want to be straight on it, though.
35.
Couldn't be straighter. How do you get on a colour off this? He's going to catch the jaw of the pocket.
36.
Well, he's giving him a shot at the black. A tough one.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 36.
Well, that was difficult. You can forgive anyone for missing that.
Yeah, but for Ronnie O'Sullivan, JV, not once in that little break did he have the cue ball where he wanted it for 2 shots in a row.
No, couldn't agree more.
1.
From these type of opportunities this morning, Zhao Xintong was making Ronnie suffer for every mistake he made. Using that opportunity there just to nudge that red, awkward red, into play.
8.
Black only available really into the left corner. But if he got on it, those 2 reds just to the left of it, nicely in the open. A couple of good positional shots could set him up nicely here.
9.
No, that's wonderful. That's a wonderful touch. It really is. He didn't play the red near the right middle for the simple fact he wasn't going to be right side of the blue, so played the more difficult shot. But as much as the last shot was wonderful, that shot was poor.
14.
Yeah. When you underhit mainly, it's just a little bit of tension in the arm, so it's understandable. And it caused him to miss.
14.
Well, that's the easy things that's been doing so well so far, and that was such an easy shot from blue to get on these 2 reds beside the black. Didn't play it well. And wow, this is the first frame of the night for Ronnie O'Sullivan.
As you say, Stephen, he needed a little bit of help from his opponent. You always do when you're playing catch-up like this.
9.
Just a quick glance at the scoreboard. This black and 1 more red, and it'll be snookers required.
16. 17.
So it's his turn to sit there and reflect on missing a sitter.
25.
Bit straight on the blue, but I don't think Zhao... Well, I know he won't be coming back to the table, so... Oh, well, Ronnie had a slight angle to get on the the last red. And he's cueing it nice. He still seems to me just to be overrunning a touch, but it's first frame, that can happen. Just nice to see the balls going in the pocket.
Yeah, I'm just watching Ronnie's facial reactions. He doesn't look enamoured by a lot of the shots he's playing. But at least he's won this first frame, because I think if Zhao Xintong had won it there, well, it would have been bad.
Well, Ronnie's holding 57.
Well, the Browns got in, but it didn't matter. Zhao Xintong, not for the first, well, for the first time in the match, has made an error when he was in. Ronnie took full advantage. 12-5 though.
Great to win 8-0, but you've got to keep pressing on.
Back we go to frame 18.
Not a great length with the break off, so shouldn't be any problem for Ronnie to play a better safety. Played the aggressive one, but it's a lovely length and it's a lovely line.
Well, he's eyeing this one up. Zhao Xintong is going to try and pop himself out of trouble here. And in the end, whether he relied on a little bit of luck or not, he's got the cue ball back to safety. Could have easily had a double kiss on the red that he played there and kept the cue ball down this end of the table.
Didn't find the ball cushion, but it was a good line, because that wasn't the easiest of safety shots. But that's a better safety. Well, if he's trying to get back to ball, you've got to be so wary of the double kiss here. Well, he couldn't. So he played the containing safety. And at first glance, safe enough.
That might be not a bad tactic for Ronnie tonight with the safeties. Play a more, you know, almost like a Mark Selby-esque safety game where you're playing containing shots rather than always getting the cue ball back to bulk. Well, it's not going to be the plan if Zhao Xintong keeps knocking them in.
Well, it looked safe enough, that red just squeezed past the black. Good pot. But he was always erring on the side of getting the cue ball back to the balk end. So one is always going to get.
Rainbow. Zhao Xintong, 1.
That's not a good shot. Cue ball should have been glued to the bulk cushion. Let's Ronnie manipulate the cue ball here with side, which you can't do when you're tight in the cushion. Great shot. Okay, hasn't got it tight, but he's blocked the left side of the table, which is important. May not have been able to do that if he was tight in the cushion.
The only problem is, Stephen, he's left him an opportunity of a long red. But there's a little bit more pressure on. He knows he should have won the first frame, so he's taking it on. Screwing back to the balk end. The ready play could have gone anywhere.
Settle down, please.
This is tough. That was tough. Not suppose he could have turned it down, really. What a chance now. He's left Zhao Xintong.
One.
wrong side of the blue, but there is a red just above the black. You feel as though you could just drop the blue in and play for that. Just a mid-range pot, which is usually very reliable at. That's the one he's played for. He's having a look. Has he run too far? He has.
Yeah, he's feeling it tonight, Zhao Xintong. It's understandable. It's rescued the situation beautifully. But I mean, he's probably had all day trying to avoid people saying to him, "Oh, you're going to win this match. You're going to win this match," and he's not won the match yet. You've got to be in the frame of mind that it's another session that you've just got to come out and try and win. It's probably the only downside of having such a big lead is trying to stop yourself thinking ahead. Still playing each frame at a time for what it's worth.
$14. $15.
Played for the pink this time. In fact, he's not downplaying the shot quickly and a little shake of the head. He's not happy with the potting angle on the pink.
Yeah, as this morning, when you're in perfect position all the time, then you find your rhythm. You can't find your rhythm if you're constantly out of position, because you're having to think, as we can see there, before he's played this shot. So he's not found that rhythm yet. That was a nice little cannon. This is a really important visit to the table for Zhao Xintong.
Pink spot not available, so the highest available is the brown.
21.
Won't bother him too much. The black is available into both corners.
Thank you. 22. 29. $30.
This time, no mistake. Nice angle on the blue. Couple of loose reds. And he's got into the cue ball a little bit too much there. So he's not pinpoint position at the moment.
35.
And very soon he's going to have to think about opening up some of these reds.
Thank you. 36.
There's one red on the extreme left as we look. I don't know if it's available in the same pocket as the black. If that was available, he'd pot that, clear the path, but he may have to play the cannon. Play the cannon, missed the pot.
And that is something he has not done for pretty much the whole championship. He's missed a black off a spot. That will give Ronnie huge encouragement.
One.
Not perfect on this red. Couldn't avoid a kiss on the second red. And that's why he's now wrong side of the blue. That cue ball control is so important. It just makes the next shot that much easier. So can he recover the situation? And the big problem is, of course, as you can see, pink and black in the other half of the table.
13.
just got the angle he needed. And if he had a real good angle on this red, which I don't think he has, he'll have to play for the blue again.
19.
But at some time, if you get the pink on its spot, I feel it make it a lot easier.
$24.
He needs a good shot here to get good on the blue.
25.
And he found it.
$30. $31.
This blue to go 1 point behind.
$36. $37.
Took the chance to bring the red out. Knew it was never going to be good on the blue. Needs a good positional shot now. The yellow not being on its spot helps.
$42.
Just a bit pacey. He'll have to play this into the far right cup. Well, he's playing it in the middle. But the problem there was, can you get good on the next ball? And he's cannon the blue, tied up the yellow. I do believe this yellow may cut in. 9 points the lead now. Well, thought about he didn't want the yellow in, he played the snooker. Well, that was a good contribution. It was an awkward table. Well, settle for that. Good shot. Wow. Oh, well, that was the last thing he wanted. He'd have preferred the yellow not to go in. He snookered himself.
Sullivan 2.
11 points the difference now. Easy snooker to lay. The brown's going to be the key to this frame, you feel? It's running over the pocket and there's no cover. But as I said, the brown is going to be the awkward ball for either player who potted this green.
Yeah, impossible to get on the brown to pot it from this.
3.
That cue ball has just run enough. I said impossible. Is he going to take this on? That was
Zhao Xintong 3.
That was a tough shot to take on. You can see he didn't even have position on the blue, but you have to say in these first couple of frames, even though he's lost the first one, and Zhao Xintong is getting the run of the ball at the moment.
No snooker. And in these type of situations, you would favour Ronnie O'Sullivan with his greater experience. Eight points the difference. Ronnie needs brown and blue. Xintong needs the 4 remaining colours. Well, he may be in trouble next time he comes to the table here. This doesn't pot. Ronnie's just got to be careful he doesn't drop this cue ball in off. Well, he decided to stun it behind the black, and it's worked out perfectly because he did that. He brought the blue into play. Big favourite now, Ronnie O'Sullivan. And we know how the miss rule works, and this is not a 1 cushion escape. It's at least 2, and there's so much room around that brown.
Foul and a miss.
Obviously miss will be taken. That now puts Ronnie 12 points in front. Don't know why Ronnie's coming to the table.
From here. I did call him miss, yes. Oh, okay.
Oh, that's why Ronnie didn't hear the referee call a miss.
Yeah, all right, thanks.
Good hit, but he's not got it safe. The brown's on to the right middle. Ronnie needs brown and blue. Cue ball needs to run.
The problem is trying to cut the blue in. If he misses it, he could leave it over the pocket.
He could pot it.
Pot for the cheeks from Ronnie. Every frame massive as far as he's concerned. 2 snookers on the pink. Highly unlikely. No, Zhao Xintong concedes. Ronnie O'Sullivan takes the first 2 frames.
Well, if Zhao Xintong doesn't win one of these first 4 before the mid-session interval, this match could get very, very interesting. Just one of them would settle him down.
Well, the cue ball's finished in a good place, but knowing these young men, these good potters, it'll be a little bit debilitating that he missed that long pot. Not missed many in this match. Ronnie trying to nestle up to the back of the main bunch. It needs to, well, he's playing the red near the top cushion.
Oh, no miss.
Let's have another go at that.
Zhao Xintong, 4.
Obviously, he saw that line.
Yeah, the red to the left of the black. Ronnie doesn't want to hit this red and leave Zhao Xintong that red's a straight pot into the yellow pocket.
Is that Ronnie? Yeah.
Because he'll probably take it on.
Thanks.
And obviously, automatic position on the black.
No, same again.
Foul and a miss. Zhao Xintong, 4. Yeah.
And the problem is, if he doesn't catch it right, he could leave the red he's trying to hit.
Oh, sorry.
I thought there was a line to the bottom of the cluster, but obviously Ronnie doesn't think so.
Yep. Thank you.
Try number 3. Better line. But as I say, he may have left this red. There's a slight angle on it.
One.
Well, usually
8.
in this championship, when Zhao Xintong's been in this position, he's scored very heavily, but this is a
9.
totally different situation now tonight. You can see he's just losing the cue ball. He's not flowing yet. He's not in a rhythm. He's a bit tight.
Fourteen. 15.
This place is going to become like a cauldron if Ronnie keeps winning frames. Ronnie's well used to it. He thrives in it.
22. 23.
He's a bit straight in this black. That's not a good shot. There you see the red at the right of the picture. Play for that to the same pocket.
Okay.
Just coming round to see if the pink goes to the opposite corner pocket that he's playing this red. Going up for the blue. Now you'd think he'd be going into these, but that pink is acting as a bit of a buffer, just separated from the reds.
That's pretty much as good as you can play that shot.
36.
Only slight disappointment is the black's gone off its spot. Play this red, leave pink to left middle.
37.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, it's exactly what he needed to get back into this match. Gifts, and he's getting them in every frame.
Well, I didn't see that coming. I thought this evening he looked to be striking the ball a little bit more positive, but what a miss that was. And that will just encourage Xintong now.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, JB. Xintong will come back to the table. Well, he probably went back to his seat thinking he'd lost the third frame. Oh, this is not good.
5.
Yeah, anything played with side, Ronnie O'Sullivan. The whole championship, he's really struggled.
6.
Well, this is not good from Zhao Xintong. The first red was exceptional, but the last two shots, anything but.
It's blue to go 56 points in front, but he can't get close to his next red, and there's still a possible 83 remaining. So there's plenty of life in this frame.
Well, he's got two choices. Either play the yellow from distance to get close to a red, or play the easy blue and play a red from distance.
Very well.
The pressure on this. What a strike. What a strike.
11.
.63. Red in the colour, that's all that's needed.
19.
And that misread from Ronnie. How expensive in terms of the match is that going to be? Because Zhao Xintong, you have to say, was rocking
24.
a little bit. But this will settle him right down. Right hand side in the cue ball. Pushed it into the cue ball, which meant he missed it thick.
.32. 33.
And he missed an easy pink into the middle, but the way he opened the reds and that brown he potted,
41.
which was basically the shot that clinched this frame. Looks like he's back on track to me.
Yeah, he badly needed an easy opening. Or a
46.
comfortable frame, and this has been it. Okay, when Ronnie missed that easy red, the first red was exceptional. The brown, as you say, was world class. As I say, it will remain to be seen how expensive that miss from Ronnie will be come the end of the night.
Yeah, Ronnie would have had a little goal
54.
in mind, win 3 of the first 4 frames. You can still do that. He's won 2 of them.
55.
But to be realistic, Stephen, if you were in Ronnie's position, you think, worst way, you've got to win 6-2 tonight.
Yeah, 6-2 makes it 14-10, and all to play for tomorrow. There's been plenty of matches
62.
won from 4 frames adrift. So as you say, although Zhao Xintong's won this frame, the target for Ronnie will remain the same for this evening's session. Yellow's not in, but Zhao Xintong will be very relieved to get his first frame on the board tonight. He extends his lead to 13-6.
Frame 20. Zhao Xintong to break.
So, mid-session interval coming up after this frame. I think they're all must-wins for Ronnie, but just needs to get first chance, I believe, in these frames. Flick on the second red, but well, the cue ball got back to the baulk end. Maybe a red to the left corner. There's the gap.
One.
And there, just to prove it, we just know it.
The difference is clear to see in Zhao Xintong after
6.
managed to win that last frame. The opening long red was well struck. That was a nice shot in the blue. Okay, may not be absolutely exactly on the red as he would like. It was a good shot. Pink and black out of the game at the moment, which makes this chance certainly difficult.
Yeah, in these situations when you've only got blue and bought colour to play for, you look if the black can become available. Decided to leave himself this long
7.
blue. I don't know whether the red just below the black, the one closest to the black, goes to the right corner. If it does, he could play for that off this blue. Overscrewed it though. I presume it now does go. Yes, it does, clearly.
But that's really aggressive
12.
break building. To leave that blue to screw back for the red. This is certainly missable.
13.
And by clearing that red, of course, he's made the black available into the left corner. Yeah, don't we say, Stephen, that the secret of this game is to produce your practice table form on the main stage, and playing for that blue as he did, that's something you do in practice, but hard to do out there in the big arena.
Yeah, I don't know many players that would play that shot. They've been that far away from the blue.
$16. $23. 24.
Well, he's got the black clear now and available into both corners. It's a big chance. Mid-session interval after this, if he retains that 8-frame advantage, he'll be well satisfied with his evening's work.
$31. $32.
And now all of a sudden he's finding that length and getting nice angles on the blue, which he wasn't doing in the early frames.
Yeah, and that's what I meant when I said how expensive will that miss from Ronnie be, because it's just seemed to have calmed
37.
Zhao Xintong down.
$38.
Seems to be normal service resumed.
Just let that cue ball run a little bit further than he would like.
45.
Shouldn't be a problem. Get the rest. Pop the red, stun around the back of the black for the black in the same pocket.
Yeah, these can sometimes go wrong if you quit on it. If you don't go through the cue ball properly here, you can very easily look silly, leave the cue ball near the black cushion.
Thank you.
He's okay.
46.
4 reds above the black. He may play a cannon on the one to the right of those 4. If he misses a cannon, he's still going to have a red to left corner. The only thing where he can go wrong if he gets into the cue ball too much. He hasn't done.
Yeah, he's cueing delightfully now, isn't it? It's a little bit of tension in the arm early on, but not now.
$54.
Wrong side the blue, but doesn't matter this time. Just drop the blue in, the red just below it. No problem getting on that. This blue will put him 59 points in front. So another couple of reds, and that would seal the frame. But you've got to admit, everybody and a lot of people watching him for the first time, he is a talent.
60.
Yeah, when he won the UK Championship, I think, in the same kind of style that he's shown here. He was obviously going to be a superstar, then out the game for 3 years, and you have to think, what a waste that has been.
65.
What would he have won? He's back. And, yeah,
66.
what a player. He's just, when he gets in, devastating.
$73. $74.
So Ronnie will be a little bit disappointed he didn't reach his goal to win 3 of the first 4, or a bonus of winning all 4. Sharing the frames, he's not going to be good enough.
Well, he's got to have a goal after the interval, because if he's not careful, this match could be finished tonight. I'm not sure if Ronnie's ever been beaten a session early, but well, he's got to find a game to stop it happening, you have to say.
Yeah, of course, as Stephen's referring to, the target is 17. This frame over now, so it's going to be mid-session interval 14-6. He only needs 3 more. And there's only 4 more to play. And no, I can't ever remember Ronnie O'Sullivan getting beat with a session to spare.
95.
So that might give him the impetus to fight and not have that on his CV. This is just wonderful stuff. Blue for the ton. Marvellous. So calm, so cool, so collected.
103.
I'll say it again. Boy, was that an expensive red that Ronnie missed in the previous frame.
106.
But unfortunately, Stephen, that's why we have a scoreline. He's missed so many easy shots. He missed it in the session this morning. Countless number of easy pots he missed, which very O'Sullivan-like. And you can't afford to miss against a young man like this. It's absolutely wonderful stuff from Zhao Xintong. Ronnie O'Sullivan goes into the dressing room. He needed to win 3 of those 4. He didn't. They shared them 2 apiece. He's still 8 behind. 14-6. Yeah. Now is Stephen. Can he keep this match going and still be in the match in the final session tomorrow? It's pride, really, that spurs you on in these situations.
Yeah, as I said at the start of the night, he's well capable of winning all 8. And he's obviously well capable of winning all 4 here. But that's normal service. That helps, that red. But his game has to improve. He basically just cannot afford to miss anything else, Ronnie, tonight, like that red you keep mentioning.
A beautiful pot. Perfect on this red to open the reds up.
9.
Now, got to finish on a colour. Black's tied up, doesn't help, but he's on the pink. Just straight past the yellow, so he's on the red. But now the pink's tied up.
15.
Now, in these situations, winning the frame at this visit, highly unlikely. Just get as many points as you can.
$19. 20.
The interval came at a good time for Ronnie. Bad time for Zhao Xintong because he was starting to fly again. So what it's all about is Ronnie, can he get a bit of momentum up? Again though, shake of the head, lost the cue ball.
Yeah, so important. I mean, he can still pot the blue, he can still run into the red above the pink, maybe bring the pink into play. But thought he wasn't guaranteed to be on a red, and he's cued this beautifully. Another roll or two for a cue ball would have made this red unmissable, but he's on it.
26.
Just that one to perfection.
His mannerism there was quite funny. There was a little sort of sarcastic nod of the head there. That he'd actually played a perfect positional shot.
31. $32.
Didn't play for the blue that time. He'd like to better angle on the green. He's got a straight blue, but I'm not certain where the next red comes from. Needs a bit of luck. He's not had any.
37.
Yeah, all he's got is a red to left middle bit. There's no colour. Oh, I didn't realise it was on that one, actually. And what a fantastic pot that was. That should make him feel a bit better, that one. That was beautifully cued. And from that opening red to the right middle.
43.
A chance that didn't look on with a pink and blackout commission. All of a
44.
sudden. You fancy him to win the frame now. Wonderful stuff.
Yeah, so there was all the talk about should he change his tip, should he or shouldn't he?
50.
Well, he did. And this is the best
51.
he struck the ball during this match. A bit short of position on the pink, but it shouldn't be a problem. And of course, this is the one thing that Ronnie's got in his
57.
favour. Oh, well, just as I was about to say, he can win frames in double quick time. He misses a sitter, and look where the cue ball finished. He was on nothing, really.
Slight decel, the cue there. You could see the back arm, the way it didn't go through properly. And again, when you decelerate through it, you miss it thin.
And every time I think there's just a little spark coming from Ronnie, he misses an easy one.
1.
It might not be that costly. It seemed every time this morning he made a mistake. This is the red again miss, but as I say, you look where the cue ball finished, he hit it all wrong. But it wasn't that costly. He won't mind if this black goes in, you know. He won't mind that, Ronnie. He played a safety.
8. Zhao Xintong, 8.
So here's a tester. Red to the right middle. Nicely played.
1.
It's black. Another red and a colour. And the frame will be in the bag. That's okay.
8. 9.
Well, every credit to Ronnie O'Sullivan. I know he missed when he was in, and he wasn't punished for one of the few times in the match.
7.
But just to keep the faith. Well, it doesn't matter.
17.
Ronnie, I don't think was too bothered about that. He wants to get the next frame underway. He's pulled another one back. Still a mountain to climb, but at least he's given it his all. 14-7. it was worth a go. And it's not a bad result at the end of it, although it's just creeped past the brown. There's a possible pot to the left corner, but it'd be a brave man to take this on.
That's a big shot to play, knowing that the cue ball's gone into the bunch of reds. You can't be taking liberties at 14-7 up, Zhao Xintong, because you would never ever, or saying you would write Ronnie off at your peril. But he can't give, this other side of the coin, JV, Ronnie can't give Zhao Xintong these easy openings.
No, he had to go for that red, but you're right, he had to get it. Nice easy opener.
One.
No, it's a little bit higher on the black than you would always want, but it's never been a problem really in this championship for Zhao Xintong, and again safely in, and he's in again. And as I said, this is the kind of situation he's just been.
Eight.
Well, he's just been savage in his scoring the whole championship.
9.
That red adjacent to the left middle. He doesn't want to play for that. He wants to keep tight control, play for the reds at this end. Always thinking if he does run out of...
16. Seventeen.
Well, he'd had an easy red to left corner, but chose to play the red, leaving himself again high on the black, which doesn't seem to bother him.
25.
Well, the fact he almost missed that might help him, because it might just sharpen up his concentration.
As Stephen said a few shots ago, he refused a simple red. He played
32.
one where he nudged off others. But by potting that red about 3 or 4 shots ago, he made this one available. So he's still thinking clearly. Well, he's now considering whether he can get through to it. Doesn't look a problem to me.
$33.
Well, he's done that a few times tonight, finished short on a red into the corner
40.
pockets. Well, he's not been able to just follow through naturally for the black. But that was,
41.
again, a lovely little cannon. But again, he's left himself on this high black, and they're always missable, these. But he doesn't seem to mind them.
But he put so much into the pot, he's run out of position again. He's got a red to
48.
the right middle. If he's straight enough, he can hold for the pink into the opposite centre. He
49.
could. So, keeping tight control, that's the key in these situations.
A moment, please.
Referee Leo Skillian asking him for give him a moment to find a place for the pink. It's not going to interfere with the position he's got. He's got perfect position on the next red. It's enough loose reds. Got a 55-point lead. So 3 more reds, 3 colours would be more than enough. to clinch this 20-second frame.
Thank you. 55. Thank you. 56.
This doesn't look the best angle on the black. Yeah, just off straight. Got to hit this well. Right hand side. He didn't hit it well. But as we've said all the way through this break, he's always had that red over the left middle pocket in reserve.
63. $64.
Straighter would have been ideal. Just to go 69 points in front with 75 remaining. So this colour and one more red. Perfect.
Fabulous position shot. It really is. He's made break building look ridiculously easy throughout the whole championship, actually. But today, he's been awesome. It's another frame, won in one visit.
77.
Well, it's all about now.
85.
Can Ronnie take this match into the final session?
Zhao Xintong,
Red doesn't go in,
85,
but the frame was
wonderful.
over well before then. So, Xintong wins another one. He's now just 2 away from a place in the final. 15-7. Decent break off, but there's a possible pot on here. And you just know he ain't going to turn it down. Now, where's this red going to go? Is it going to be available to the middle? It is. Thought the only red he could leave was the one he was playing. And that's the one he's left.
Zhao Xintong, 4.
Always the way. When you're behind and need a bit of luck, you very rarely get it.
Well, he can play like almost like a break-off shot here. Off 3 or 4 cushions, try and get in behind the brown.
Red close to the left corner. He's not got cover, I don't think. I'm going to look at Ronnie's face. He can just get past the blue. If he can, this is possible.
One.
Well, that cue ball won't be moving much as he plays the snooker.
Ronnie Sullivan, 1.
I think Ronnie has covered the natural 1 cushion. Escaped to nestle into the cluster behind the pink. And if you have to make the angle by playing it with a lot of, in this case, left-hand side, doesn't make it any easier. Well short. Does he leave the red?
Foul and a miss.
I think he
Ronnie
does.
O'Sullivan, 4.
I think Ronnie can get past the pink.
One.
Just scraped in, but not a good positional shot. But he's got a shot at the green. Another ball that went in, not very clean. He's got a choice of reds. The one's just above the black, a bit closer to the cushion than he would like. No. No,
Ronnie
no,
O'Sullivan,
no.
4.
Hit across that.
Spider, yeah.
Must be so frustrating inside that he's come to this World Championship, not brought his A game. And in all honesty, he's done really well to get to the semi-final.
Okay. One.
It's
8.
got most of them in the open. Good scoring chance.
9.
It's such a aggressive way of break building. A lot of the players now seem to be sort of cherry picking the reds, leaving going into the pack until the last minute. Whereas Zhao Xintong, if he sees
16.
the opportunity like there to be aggressive, he takes it.
17. Yeah. $24. 25. 29.
This is how he's going to play, JD,
23.
all the time. I mean, this is the future of the game we're looking at here. This kid could... I'm calling him a kid. I keep calling him a kid. He's 28, but he could dominate this sport for the next 10, 15 years.
Well, we always knew that there was going to be a new player that was going to emerge.
$41.
Saw the likes of yourself at a very young age winning the World Championship. Ronnie. But all those moves that you had, that Ronnie had,
48.
he plays them all so well.
49.
And yeah, I couldn't agree more. From what I've seen today, this boy's going to be around for a long time. Such a wonderful striker of a ball.
56.
Yeah, he may not have the tactical
57.
nous of some of the top players, but to be honest, if you can score like this and pot like he can from distance, well, frankly, you don't need it.
Well, you just put pressure on your opponent all
Absolutely,
the time.
absolutely.
You put pressure on your
63.
opponent's safety. Well, it's not gone in.
Xintong, 63.
And this frame isn't over just yet. 58 points, the lead, but there's still 59 remaining. He couldn't, could he?
1.
All these reds, well, that's the worst possible start. No.
Ronnie Sullivan 1.
He was given a glimmer, but it's not to be.
One.
I think Ronnie want to come back to the table anyway, but he won't now.
7.
So this frame puts him in within 1 frame of a place in the final.
Zhao Xintong, thanks. 7 and the finish.
Ronnie concedes there's 1 more frame to play in this session. If he wins it, match over, 16-7. We usually say, Stephen, that the one that takes you over the winning line is the hardest one to win, but when you've got such an advantage, there's not a lot of pressure on you, is there?
No, and I suppose the question is, what desire has Ronnie got left? What to take this match into the final session? Because it's not easy. It's very easy to think that's it, and kind of subconsciously bail out. I've done it myself. Nice bit of running there for Zhao Xintong to leave Ronnie in front of this brown.
Oh, it wasn't easy, being hampered. And he's left a red to the right middle. But it's a run of the ball that Ronnie needs, not Zhao Xintong. It was tricky. But he's missed it, and he's not left anything easy.
It wasn't easy. I think if that red
Quietly,
goes in,
please.
it could be all over, because look at the perfect on the black. The reds are everywhere. It's a tricky one.
I won't blame Ronnie if he went all out attacking this frame. But no, he's reined in, thought the safety was a percentage call. Played that in such a way he thought the only red he could leave was the one he was playing. He's not left it, and it's safe enough. Ronnie got to find that baulk cushion. Doesn't want to kiss the green. And he has, and he's left Zhao Xintong now, the red to the left of the blue. Is the more positive shot. He has another one to the right corner, but this is the right shot. If this goes in, bound to be on it. So close, but not there. Where's the cue ball going? And there you go, another one. I'm surprised in a way that Ronnie hasn't gone all-out attack in this frame. You know, if you're going to go down fighting, that's usually the play of these great champions.
Yeah, the red to right corner there that he could have played. Is there a gap for the cue ball here? And potting this red? Well, there wasn't a clean gap. They managed to get through even with hitting the red. Well, the shot that I think 99.9% of professionals would play is rolling it behind the green, but Zhao Xintong has no idea of that. It's all-out attack.
Yeah, fearless.
5.
Although I must say those pots are a lot tougher when you're not so far in front.
This red, pink waiting. And just maybe a little bit, as we say, the winning line. You can see the winning line a little bit. What has Ronnie got in terms of, as I said, desire, will to keep this match going?
1.
Already short on the blue.
Six. 7.
Gives the kiss off the second red nicely. Perfect on the blue. Now, there's a red. It must be occupying the pink spot. That's the red to play for. Then pop the pink, get the pink back on its spot, and it's a good scoring opportunity. But is he thinking clearly with such a deficit? Well, he's finished on that red to the left middle, the one I was talking about.
12.
And then he'll be able to play for the pink. Played for the blue, but the pink spot is now in the clear.
$19.
Needs to miss the red, and did, so he's on the pink.
$25. $26. Please don't call out when a player's at the table.
Wrong side the blue. Cue ball travelling.
31.
Wanted to be on the red to the left of the pink, but he's okay, he's got an alternative. Where's the cue ball?
32.
Well, he's not on the pink. Pink pots.
Yellow ball.
He's playing the safety.
Ronnie Sullivan, 32.
Yeah, well, never really had control of the cue ball there, but he managed to eke out a 32 break. It's a good safety from Zhao Xintong. May have snookered Ronnie on all reds here. That's a bonus. Can he get past the yellow? He's having to swerve. Don't want to wet this red too thick. And he did, and that's why he got the double kiss. So Zhao Xintong comes to the table. Nice easy starter. Win the frame and match at this visit. Tall order.
1.
The 3 reds to the left of the black. I'm not sure if the top one goes to right corner.
8.
If it is, you could possibly get on that red in a way to bring the other reds into play. But yeah, this is not an easy opportunity. Worst case scenario, gets right back into the frame in terms of the scoreboard.
14.
No, I don't think that red is on. He's looking at it, but it looks pretty tight to me.
15.
If he's got an angle here in the pink, he may screw into those 3 reds. He's okay. He's in one to right corner.
21.
In a way, it couldn't have worked out better. He's got a nice angle. Doesn't have to play this too hard. Play for the black in the same pocket.
22.
And now there is a chance. That black takes him 2 points in the lead.
29.
These 4 reds
30.
with colours, snooker's required.
Well, you couldn't tell from the outside, but inside, Zhao Xintong must be, wow, the adrenaline will be flowing through his veins, because
57.
what a result this would be.
38.
Yeah, we know the esteem that all the players from China hold Ronnie in, and to beat him centre stage at the Crucible, there's not many who've done that.
With a session to spare.
45.
You have to think, if
46.
whoever he plays in the final, it'll be a tougher task. You know, Ronnie hasn't played well, you have to say that. Zhao Xintong has been gifted a lot of chances today, but you've still got to take them. You're still playing
53.
the greatest player of all time. You're still under pressure to take those chances. It's there.
54.
Absolutely. So it's all over now, who would have thought? This black to get to snooker's required. Great performance.
61.
As Stephen said, it's not been Ronnie's best, but just admire this young man, the way he's coped with
63.
everything that's been thrown at him.
Even that black, you could be forgiven for just making sure the black. He played it with loads of side to get on the yellow. He's got some flair.
66.
I'll say it again, what a player.
70.
I'm sure he'll be tested probably a bit more in the final, no matter who gets through to play him. But they will
75.
watch this and they will know that it's not going to be easy. What a talent. What a
81.
performance. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Ronnie will congratulate him, wish him all the best in the final. And he's now wanting the crowd to show their appreciation to Ronnie O'Sullivan. Doubtful whether he came. He did come. He got to a semi-final, which, from a point of view, was an achievement. but he one step too far. We thought if he played someone on form, he was going to struggle, and that's what happened. Zhao Xintong is in the final. He beats Ronnie O'Sullivan with a session to spare by 17 frames to 7.